Sit ye down, boys and girls, and let me tell you the story of an elf named Anthropolus Lightfoot. Anthropolus Lightfoot was born to a noble family amongst his elf kin, and wait, aren't elves supposed to live in trees? Okay. Anyway, even though his name was Anthropolus Lightfoot, he never went by that name. When he was small, he once found a rat in his room and went, "Squeep!" And his mother said, "Aw, aren't you just a little squeeper?" And the name stuck. So, little Squeeper, being from noble birth, was taught all the things that a little noble elf is taught. He was taught how to speak eloquently, how to do math and arithmetic, which is exactly the same thing. I don't know why I said that twice. He was taught to read and write, and taught of all the finer courts and mannerisms that any noble elf is expected to know. But his parents were very unlike a lot of noble elves. Whereas many of the noble families plotted and schemed amongst themselves to gain the most money and power, Squeeper's parents believed that wealth was meant to be shared with the less fortunate, and they instilled these values into Squeeper himself, letting him know that their power was there only to help the ones below them. And so Squeeper lived out his early childhood in relative happiness and harmony with his loving parents, until one sad day, when his parents met with an unfortunate accident. No one knows for sure what happened, but it is rumored that other noble families, jealous of the attention garnered by Squeeper's parents, conspired for Squeeper's parents to meet with the unfortunate accident. And there might be some truth to these rumors, because shortly after said accident, the other noble family seized all of Squeeper's goods and possessions, leaving poor Squeeper out on the street. Luckily for Squeeper, he was very quickly taken in by the local thieves guild, who saw the potential of such a noble-born family member amongst their guild. They taught him many things: how to sneak, how to steal, how to pick pockets, archery, blade combat, a great deal of alchemy, teaching him potions and poisons. Squeeper's quick wit and undeniable charm went nicely with these new skills, and it was whispered among the guild that with enough years of training and practice, he might one day rise up to be a master thief. Squeeper himself learned to love the trade of a thief, but he found out very quickly that he was different from his guild brothers in many ways. He found that his guild brothers cared only about gold, amassing gold and collecting more gold, and that's all they cared about. They didn't have any passion. Squeeper loved being a thief because of the thrill, because of the challenge, because of the feeling he got whenever he completed a heist. But as far as the gold itself, while he did enjoy dressing in fine clothes and staying at fine establishments, he never really kept his gold too long, nor gave too much to the guild. But many a homeless elf would find piles of gold next to their shabby bunks in the morning, and Squeeper became somewhat of a hometown hero to the poorer population. Squeeper refused to steal from anyone who couldn't afford it, and very commonly gave all, if not more than he actually had stolen, to the poor populace. Now, the guild didn't really enjoy this. They wanted Squeeper to steal gold for them, and Squeeper eventually found that he could not reconcile these differences. So, he quit the guild and went out on his own. Well, the guild didn't like this too much. They didn't like the idea that someone they had taken in and trained had betrayed them, or as they saw it. So, with a quick pouch of gold delivered to the right hands in the city guard, Squeeper very quickly became a criminal and hunted. Squeeper found out very shortly that he was no longer welcome in this territory and had to leave very quickly. So, with nothing but the clothes on his back and a one small dagger, he stowed away on a ship bound for a land that he'd never been to but had always heard about. And maybe a new adventure. This is where we join Squeeper. This is where the adventure truly begins, in a land called Cyrodiil.